What do you know about our company?
What's up mga ka-Team LA? So it's me, Alfie for Team LA Motovlog. So since ACQ is still out there, we couldn't make any vlogs outside for travels and motorcycle vlogs, but I'm gonna have a content for you today that's relevant for our current situation. So well, we all know that amidst the pandemic, one of the industries that kept running is BPO industry. Therefore, I want to share some common and frequent call center interview questions. At least if you want to be part of the BPO industry, this should help you with that. So again, if you want to be part of the BPO warriors, then go and listen to this video. By the way, before we start with the frequent questions, I want to remind all the viewers to click the like and subscribe button, and also please click on that, and then click on the notification bell so you get notified with any of our future uploads in the future. So here's the questions with their tips, folks. So let's go through all the common or frequent questions being asked during a call center interview. So first question is, can you tell me more about yourself? Well, when get asked, what people would normally answer are the things that's found in their resume, like personal background, educational attainment, courses they've taken, awards, recognitions they've had before. Now, that's totally wrong. Well, since you're going to be working in a people industry, now this is the time that you should emphasize your people skills. Okay, now if you've worked in a volunteer work before, then now is the time to showcase that. But just be sure that you're providing factual and fleshed out data, because it may backfire on you. So yeah, this is the area where what you have to inform the interviewer are things that isn't in your resume, or if it's in your resume, then something deeper to that, not just what's written or what's typed or printed in your resume. Okay, that's tip number 1. Number 2 is, what do you think call center is like? Well, for those who doesn't have any experience in the call center, I'm sure you guys have an idea that you're going to be taking calls whole day, right? Like your 8-hour shift. But stay positive. Though taking calls isn't your ideal job, but if you really want it, then say all the best things. That probably mostly you could say it this way: call center is an environment where excellent people displays their excellent customer service skills, and people are very cheerful, flexible, and friendly. So that's it. Simple as that. That's for tip number 2. So for question number 3, what do you know about our company? Okay, so just like in the intro video, I was asked about my son on what do you know about our company. So this is one of the beauty of a call center industry. There's no discrimination of you having not to finish your bachelor's degree like me. I haven't finished mine, but I'm part of the BPO warriors. Like, I got a job and I got a career in the call center industry. And sometimes people have this notion that you're gonna be hired if you have good credentials, like you have your certificates, your rewards, your recognitions, like all the accolades, you bring it with you, you feel that you're gonna get hired. But not really, because it depends on how you're gonna do on the interview. Now, knowing more about the company you're applying for, it just gives the interviewer an idea that gives the interviewer an idea on your attention to details, and it gives them the idea that you're there doing your homework of researching on the company you're applying for, and knowing how can you best fit in the company so that you'd be able to contribute to the growth of the business. So my advice is, before you apply to the company you want to apply for, then do a bit of research, do a bit of homework, because it's going to be a very, very big advantage for you if you're going to be able to spit that out. Tells them that you are really indeed like you really want the job so bad and want to be part of their family. So that's it for tip number 3. So for tip number 4, the question is, why do you want to work here? Well, there are 2 segments to this. The first one is, why do you want to work here as a call center? And second is, why of all the call center companies, like why here? Okay, so let's try to answer first the first one, like why do you want to work here as a call center agent? Well, first, you got to tell them that you have the necessary people skills, that a call center agent must have to be able to deal with the customers with the best service there is. Okay, that's just it for the first one. Now the second one is quite difficult, because you're not going to be comparing this company you're applying for to the other companies out there. And mind you, the other companies might just be across the block or in the next block, left or side. So like, why this company that you're applying for, right? Now the common answer to that is salaries. Like, people find the salary that this company provides is better than the others, if not the salary, like just the overall compensation and benefits. Okay, but that may work, and sometimes it doesn't work too. Well, my suggestion is go back to tip number 3, knowing more about the company you're applying for. That way you could make a comparison how this company is better than the other companies, and will give you an idea on how you could make a comparison, make this company as the benchmark of all the other companies out there. So that's for tip number 4. So for the fifth question, the Miss Universe question: what is excellent customer service for you? Now, question is very, very easy. In short, like, it's just making sure that you go above and beyond what's expected from you and from the customer, and also from the company. Okay, so apart from that, probably my own take on customer service is sometimes we just couldn't satisfy the customers, right? Because the fact of the matter is, like, the resolution is something that doesn't meet their satisfaction. Now, in a case like that, how can you provide an excellent customer service is just be honest, be frank to the customer, because saying a bunch of lies just to please the customer and let them go, but just to make them feel happy, is just such a BS. Okay, like, if you're the person that you've been lied to for the sake of you just being happy, and then after that you're gonna call because things didn't go right, so it's really wrong. Okay, now if you want to be able to develop the best customer service there is, provide whatever is necessary and factual for the customer, because when customers know, they feel bad, but I'm sure they'll understand, and they're gonna move on. They're gonna find things that would make the situation better. Okay, so that's for tip number 5. Okay, for tip number 6, or question number 6, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Okay, so kind of tricky question, because here you're gonna expose your vulnerability as you're gonna mention your strengths. Okay, so let's start, weaknesses. Okay, but let's start with your strengths first. So you could mention, since you're going to be working in a call center industry, particularly customer service, then you can mention good communication skills. You have long patience, or you have friendly, and a team worker. Okay, now on the negative side, here is where you're going to expose your vulnerability. but too much exposure to your weaknesses, may have a strong influence in the decision or the outcome of the interview. But I would suggest when you mention anything about weakness, it's like a statement that gears towards strengths still. Like a good example is, I tend to work myself too hard. Alright? Now, while that's negative, I mean, if you were the interviewer, you'd be happy to hear that because the person is a hard worker, right? So, that's my tip for question number 6. So, for the 7th question, okay, we're talking about money. So, what is the salary you expect to make out of here? Okay, now you could simply say whatever is the standard salary of someone with your qualifications, because of course you're not gonna aim for the sky here. Okay, but if you get asked with a specific figure, then I'll go back to that tip earlier that I told you on doing a research on the company you're applying for. Part of that is probably if you could get data or information about what's the standard salary of a qualification, or of a position you're applying. At least you could put that figure, once you get asked. But my suggestion too is don't be a low baller. Don't be so humble that you give them an amount that's very, very, very small to the value that you should be given. Okay, because you may end up, being paid less than your value. Okay, so don't be a low baller. At the same time, don't aim for the sky. Give out the reasonable amount with with your qualifications. Okay, that's for tip number 7. Now, for the last question, which is question number 8. Okay, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Okay, and the purpose of this question is so that the interviewer and the company would have an assessment whether you plan to stay long or just use that company as a stepping stone and then move on, right? Well, this area, I would suggest for you to tell them that you're still with a company, whether you're still an agent or being promoted. You could say that too, because I can't make sure too that you're going to be promoted within the next 5 years, because there are some companies right now that the promotions are not really that many. But you could simply say to them that you're still with the company and I'm still an active contributor to the company's growth and success. Okay. Now also on this area, you can also say to the person that you're not really that after of a promotion, because you can define growth as not just in promotion, but growth horizontally. Like you could transfer from one position to the other, and that's not a vertical growth. Like you're still going to be paid the same, but you could expand your network, grow your influence, and that's how you can contribute to the growth and success of the business. So probably that's how you can answer question number 8. So those are my 8 questions with their tips and on the common and frequent questions being asked in a call center interview. Okay, well, I hope for those applicants that's going to be applying tomorrow and forward looking, I hope you get the job and be part of the BPO industry. If you don't get it, my advice is keep trying. Well, me, I had 5 tries before I got hired by my first call center. So do good, don't be nervous, and dress up. That's it, folks. Peace.